Hello, hello, hello. So if you didn't watch my other video about my vision board box kit thing that came, go back and watch that first. But I wanted to show you my finished vision board. So this is what it looks like. And I just think I'm gonna walk you through it because I want to and I can, so I'm gonna do that. So basically what I did was I cut everything out and then I laid this down on the table, and then I kind of laid everything out on top of it, and then I attached it with like glue dot things. So there's kind of a little bit of chaos. I actually did not expect that I was gonna fill up the entire thing, but I did, so that's fine. So if we start up here, I have a thing, self-care isn't selfish, because that's something that's really important to me, and sometimes I feel guilty. Like last week, I did like pretty much nothing. Like go watch my video that I did for the February Sparkle Hustle Grow subscription box. I was not feeling well that day. I felt like that like the rest of the week. I got my shot last night. I'm finally feeling back to being a normal person again. But last week, like, I did not feel good. And then I felt bad because I wasn't doing the things that I was supposed to be doing, that I told myself that I was going to do. But I had to remind myself that, like, I can't burn the candle at both ends. I need to take time to rest when I need to rest so that I can take care of myself. To live, not to exist. And this is something that kind of speaks to me on a deeper level. Back in 2021, we had to fight to get my Stellar injections approved. And seriously, during that time, I was literally just surviving. Like, that was it. I was surviving. I wasn't thriving. I wasn't doing anything else. I was surviving. I take care of my health. That's another thing. Like, I try and pay attention to the foods that I'm eating to make sure that I'm not eating anything that would harm me, or like I know there are certain foods that just are not good for me. So like I try and avoid that. I try and eat healthier. I try and eat for, so I'm helping my body, not hurting my body. And then, so like then we go down into like this person cooking in the kitchen. And my whole thing with that is, one of the things that my husband and I have been talking about, and with kind of where our finances are right now, it's like I wish that we had more time to cook better food. So with him being in law school, like we get home at like 5 o'clock, 5:30 at night. His mom usually cooks dinner, but like on Tuesday nights, we're down there during dinner time. So it's like, if we don't bring something, then it's like, okay, we're gonna hit up Panera. Like I feel like at least we're going like to Panera and not like McDonald's. So I feel like it's a little bit better, but still, it's not a home cooked meal. It's still like fast food. Also like this amazing soaking tub, because we have a soaking tub, but it's really not that amazing. And plus like this down here represents like my dream home. Like it just, when I see this, it makes me feel happy. I want to be happy about my home, about where I live. This was just like a beautiful view. Like I will probably never have a view like that. Because I don't really want to live next to the ocean, because there's not an ocean where I live or anywhere near where I live. And like for me, like I was like, there is a specific part of the township that I want to live in, like not just like in this general vicinity. Like finding a house was tough and took a while, because there was only a specific part of our township that I wanted to live in. And then peace, because I want my home to be able to bring some peace, that it's kind of like a place where I can rest and relax and rejuvenate and all of that. And then we come over here, making gifts with your own hands, because that's something that I love to do. I love making gifts, and I love like making them like myself. Like I think this might have been the first year ever that my kids didn't get a Christmas present that was like handmade for me. Like I made them like toy chests, I made them beds, my desk over there I made, my husband's desk I made, I've made tables, I've made benches. I've done a lot of woodworking stuff, and so I like making things with my own hands. And then this, because I think this is just another really pretty picture of a house. Like, to me, it looks like welcoming, to feel freedom. And this both from like finances, but also like some time freedom to be able to go and explore places. Whatever you do yourself. So like my husband and I were talking about this. We're like, what does that mean? That can mean like a couple different things. Luckily, he interpreted it the same way that I did, which was whatever you do, like be yourself. Like you be you. Don't be afraid to be weird. So, you know, that's kind of how I took it. But I was like, there's another way that you can take it. Like, you know, especially if you are building your own business, like no one is going to build your business for you. You have to put in the work to do it. So like, I was like, you could also take it that way. But like me, like, I feel like this is very important for me to remember because I am kind of weird. I'm unique. I can be an acquired taste. And I actually found when I was doing vendor event, so I used to like kind of be like, hey, this is me, but like a version of myself. And so like there's the same vendor event that we do like twice a year. And so we've done it in the spring, the fall, and then we're going to do it in the spring again. And the first time we did it, we didn't do that bad. We broke like $200. It was like my first vendor event. I really didn't know what I was doing. When we went back in the fall, actually it was more like November-ish time frame. I just kind of let myself be me. I like wore what I felt comfortable in, which most people would be like, why are you wearing a maxi dress and a flannel shirt? And I'm like, cause I'm comfortable in it. And so that when I get hot, I can take it off and, you know, do all those kinds of things. So yeah, so I was at a vendor event. I was like 100% me. We did over $500 in sales. I met so many people. I got so much information. I got contacts. Like it was amazing because I was myself. My rules, because that's just the type of person I am, where I kind of just want to be able to do things the way that I want to do them. And I know some people will be like, but like you have to follow rules. And it's like, here's the thing. So I did this professional development class and they talked about delegating tasks to other people. So it was like, you can delegate a task. And I literally had this conversation with my supervisor because she was one of those people that would delegate, but like was a micromanager. And I remember vividly saying to her, because the one key when you delegate something is that it doesn't matter how you get from point A to point B, as long as point B is what it's supposed to be. So, for example, you're driving from your house to your parents' house. My parents live like 2 minutes away. There are probably 15 different ways that we can get there. So what it's saying is I leave our house, my husband leaves our house. We might take 2 different ways to get there, but as long as we both end at my parents' house, then that's fine. So I remember saying to her, I am going to do this the way that I feel it needs to get done. I'm going to do the steps in the order that I feel make the most amount of sense. And you can't say no, because you are delegating this project to me. This is my project. This is how I'm going to do it. I know what the end result has to be. I'm just going to get there differently than you do, and that's okay. And I think it really bothered her a lot because she really likes to like know exactly what's going on and be like, you should do it this way, you should do it this way, you should do it this way. But it got done. And I was like 8 months pregnant at the time and it got done. So kind of that, because I know my brain works differently than a lot of people. So a lot of times I struggle because they want me to do it this way. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense in my brain. Little Benjamin's up there for some money, wealth. I will succeed, because this is something that's been really difficult for me, where like I'm almost afraid of succeeding. And then I have that whole, oh, what if I don't? What if I put all this time in, all this effort in, spend all this money, and I don't succeed? So it's like, I will succeed. Also, it's never too late. like to think about, like, you know, Oprah was like 40 when she got her talk show. Like, you know, I'm almost there. I'm getting pretty close. But also, like, it's never too late. There's somebody in Randy's law school class who he's not in any of his classes this semester. He was last semester in a couple of his classes. He has a kid our age and he's going back to law school. So, like, it's never too late. Celebrate, because I want to be able to celebrate the fun things. I want to be able to go away for like anniversaries, do vacations and stuff like that, be able to celebrate different things. Perseverance, because sometimes I just want to give up and I need to persevere. This one, literally boss, because it's pink. And I told my husband that when I was explaining to him last night, and he's like, that tracks. Don't be afraid to be weird, because I am weird, but that's okay. I have found on the internet that I am not that unique. There is a subset of people who are my kind of weird. Financial freedom, because that's another goal that I want. I don't want to have to worry about, like, do we have the money for this? Do we have the money for this? Do we have the money for this? You know, picking the less expensive option. Like, literally, okay, guys, so today, like, I am very proud of myself when I find a deal. And that's kind of how I justify getting things sometimes. So I have done really amazing recently. So we pre-ordered the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra for me. It comes out on the 17th. And I was able to trade in my phone, so that like actually knocked the price down by like half. Plus, they were running a promo where you get a free upgrade. So like for like the storage size. So we kind of looked at it and I was like, this phone is originally over $1,000. We really don't have that kind of money. And the guy's like, well, what phone are you trading in? And he was like, it comes down to like $589, or it knocks off $589. Anyway, it was about like a 50% discount, plus being able to upgrade for free and get twice the amount of storage. I was like, heck yes, we're gonna do this. So we did that. We just had to get a new Fire Stick, because ours, I'm convinced ours only last like 11 months and then they die. So we had to get a new Fire Stick. And I wound up having, like, I was gonna do the trade-in, because you can like trade in your old Fire Sticks and you get a discount on a new one. Well, the one that I was looking at to replace ours, which was the one that we had up here, I had a $20 off coupon. So like I paid like half price for that Fire Stick. I got a $40 Fire Stick for $19.99. I was like, yes, thank you. Very proud of that. But like I would probably still do that, but like not have to like do all of that searching. Right? Because I do eventually want to write a book. I've kind of like dabbled in it. I've got like some stuff written down, but I want to write and publish a book. Don't give up, because like at least yesterday I was like, should I even like be doing this? Like, should I, like, is this even worth my time, worth my effort? Like, when Randy becomes a lawyer, like, am I still gonna want to do this? Like, I still feel like yes, because I'm gonna need something to do other than just sit on my butt and read webcomics all the time. This is a kid planting in a garden, which is something I like to garden. I like to do vegetable gardens. At my grandparents' house, they have land and we've actually done a garden there. But like, even though it's like 5 minutes down the road, like that's a lot to get down there and take care of that, especially since it's a huge garden. So I want to be able to do that. This reminds me of like Christmas time. Like, I always want to do fun things with my kids around the holidays, but either we run out of time or we don't have the finances for it. So I put my children down there, and then love, because everything I do is that's like the basis around it. Plus it's pink. Spend it freely and be patient. The be patient is because I want results like right away, and I need to learn that I need to put things out there, let things work, and that like Rome wasn't built in a day. It's not going to be super fast. Like, I need to take my time. Spend it freely. It kind of goes along with financial freedom and to feel free. And then over here, like, this is like my travel corner. I was never one that wanted to like travel, But recently I've gotten really interested in Korean culture, probably because of all of the Korean stuff that I'm reading. And so like I thought this was a pretty picture. So these are all about like travel and going places, because they didn't have any pictures of Korea, but that's okay. Taste the dishes of the new cuisine. So like we've really been into like Korean food recently, and it's actually really, really good and pretty good for you. So we've been doing that a lot. And like, so like my judge on if like a place is like good for you, like healthy or not, is how I feel afterwards. So like I can tell you, like after something from Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, like I don't feel that great afterwards. I feel like crap. And then it's kind of like we were talking last night about like you know, like the fancy places that you can go, like Applebee's or Fridays or Outback and those different places. And I'm like, I don't even really like eating there because I don't feel that great when I'm done. Like it's not like necessarily like the best food. So we've actually been there's a Korean restaurant that's like in the next town over that we'll go to, or we will go to the Asian market and get stuff and make our own Korean food. And it's really not that difficult to make either. And it tastes really, really good. And then study other cultures, because I like to learn a lot about Korea. Now I will admit that the things that I'm learning about Korea, I am learning from my webcomics. So I always have to go back and forth and be like, you know, so this is my webcomics and this is my K-dramas that I watch. And then I'll like actually go and like search, like, is this like actually how it is? It's kind of like one of those things where like, if you've ever seen the things, like people will post like reels, like it's like, are yellow school buses really a thing in America, or is that just something like in the movies? And it's like, no, like we actually get picked up on a yellow school bus and go to school. Like, how else do you think that we get there? Like those types of things where it's like, is this just in the movies, or is this something that's like actually like something that happens? Like it's like a cultural thing. So I always like to go on and check, and it's like, you know, we've looked up like etiquette, like how like you address different people, drinking etiquette. One of the things that my husband noticed is that whenever she would like bring the bill, it would be two hands. And that's because that's what you do to somebody to show respect, that like you don't know them, type like a stranger type thing. So like, it's just like things like that it's like, wait, do they really do that? And it's like, yes, they really do. So here's my vision board. It's got a lot of different things on it. I did find a place for it. I have a shelf over there above my desk that I'm just kind of gonna put it there for right now. But yeah, that's my vision board all done. And it really wasn't that hard. Honestly, when I got that kit, like I love that kit. I got that kit, I sat through, I pulled out the pages for what I wanted to cut out. Like if it was on a page, the pages are perforated, you pull them out of the book. Then I went through and I cut them all out, and then I laid them out, and I was like, wow, I really do have a lot on there. And I love how it turned out. Like I love it, and I feel like it's a good size. It's not too big. It's not like a huge poster board, and it's not like flimsy or anything like that. And it fits like perfectly on my shelf, and everything is there, and I can see it every morning when I walk by, and I just absolutely love it. So now I gotta help my daughter pick out a cell phone case for her new cell phone that she got. No hate. Yes, she is 7, but she is 7 going on 17, and she video calls with my parents every night. So we mainly just got it for that, so that she can do her video calling with them, and we still have access to our phones, because I use my phone all the time for work and my business and everything, and my husband uses it because that's how he tracks what he's doing in law school, and my mother-in-law needs hers because her family in England calls. And on that cue with the dog barking, I'm signing off. Bye.